All right, welcome back. My name is Mason, and we're going to be continuing the dining chair today. So now that we have the front and the back legs, the next thing we can work on are the stretchers. Now, I'm going to tackle the hard thing first, just to get that out of the way. So we're going to do these side rails. Now, what makes them difficult is that they have compound angles. We need one tenon to go one way, the body to go this way, and then the tenon to come back to a straight angle, which requires us to do an 8-degree up here, flip the part around, and then do another 8-degree. So it can make things a little bit complicated. Luckily, I have a blank here. So I've managed to do this. I've managed to prototype this, so I know it can be done. Now I just need to do it in my material. So let's get cutting. So actually, setup for this is really simple. All we have to do is take our low pro clamps, set a 0 point, and clamp it down. Once we have our X, Y, and Z zeroed, we can hit go. Nothing special, nothing super complicated. The only thing about this is the 1/2-inch classic spiral cutter, and that's it. It will cut the nice 2 rails and then the markings. Now I use these markings to determine what side is which tenon, because the tenons are actually different lengths. And so if I want to accurately use up all the material without leaving a giant score through them, I have to be careful of what side is what, and what side I actually want to be my front. Once those markings are done, we can take it off. Now comes the vertical table. The vertical table's fairly simple. All we have to do is mount it. Now I used the aluminum rail. It makes it super simple because I can just clamp from the front. You can do it. I made the prototype without the aluminum rail, so you can do it without it. But first we need to set our angle. Now this can be a little difficult. For me, I used a portable angle finder and I attached it to my bed, zeroed it out at level, and then cranked it up until I got about an 8-degree angle. Once I had that 8-degree angle, I was ready to put everything on and actually begin. First step is actually determining what side I want to cut first. The dots that I made earlier serve as a nice reference as to what side should be what. The 3 dots belong on the stepped tenon, while the 1 dot belong to the single tenon that goes backwards. So if I'm cutting the 3 dots first, I want to have the detail work on the front and set my 0. Now I set my 0 on the bed, and this is very important because otherwise you would have to set your 0 in the middle, and not even directly in the middle, but at some arbitrary point on the blank. Because in Aspire, you have it set to be flat. In actuality, the blank itself is not flat on top. It actually comes to a point. And so you need to do a little bit of math. Now, what makes it easy for setup is that if you do just a little bit of math and draw out a diagram, you can actually just set your 0 as the bed and then line a board, slide it up, and hit it so it hits the bottom of the board. And as long as that board is flat, you set your 0. Makes it really simple, really easy. You don't have to mark your centers, you don't have to do anything. You can 0 off of the very bottom left corner of the material itself. Quite nice. And everything will stay accurate. And with that, we have this gorgeous piece right here. Looks phenomenal. I love it. It's very, very nice. I feel the compound tenons worked really well. And these are also multi-sided. So, or not multi-sided, but ambidextrous. You can use it for a left or a right, doesn't matter, as long as you flip it the other way. If you were to add something that needs to be right side up or non-mirrored like text, you would need to do two separate programs, one for a left and one for a right. But because mine are symmetrical along this axis, it doesn't matter. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.